In this video, we're going to talk about our application layer management protocols. And the first protocol we're going to talk about is called DNS, or Domain Name Services. So what does DNS do? Well, DNS converts a domain name such as google.com into its associated IP address such as 74.125.224.52. So why is this important? Well, for example, if you're on your work's network and you want to go out to a website, for example, my website, microgrinder.com, and if your network doesn't know how to get there, it can use its DNS server to look that up and determine what the IP address is for that domain name, and then it can log it. And so we can have a DNS server set up to manage all of those records and to allow you to be able to communicate by using a domain name rather than an IP address. Now, a really easy way to do an example of this on your computer is you can do an NSLOOKUP, and let me go ahead and show you how that works right now. So again, we're going to use our command prompt just about every time for everything that we want to do. So let me go ahead and type up my command prompt and pull it over, and I'll slide it over here so it's not in the way. So you're going to type in NSLOOKUP, and then you can just type in a domain name. So for example, we'll do yahoo.com, and we'll press enter. And what it's going to do, it's going to go ahead and take a look, and it's going to tell us the associated IP addresses. And for example, with yahoo.com, it has more than one IP address because they're such a big website that they're going to need more than one IP address associated with them. So if we look at this, now we know that the IP addresses associated with DNS for google.com are these ones right here. Now, the next protocol that we want to look at is called the network time protocol. And this is what syncs up your system with the clocks on the internet. And for example, we can have it to sync automatically. So for example, I have a system set up to sync to nist.gov. They have a time server set up over there, an NTP server. And what it does is that it keeps your system up to date with what's on the network. So why is this important? Well, for example, if you have an authentication server, you want to make sure that the times are synced up with your different desktops where people are going to be logging in, because you can set up day and time restrictions. And if you have a big discrepancy between the dates and the times on the desktop systems that are the client machines and the server, then you're going to have issues with your authentication. So it's important to have an NTP server either set up on your local network or to have your systems get their time information from one of the bigger ones such as nist.gov. Now, the last management protocol that we want to look at is called the Simple Network Management Protocol. And there's been multiple versions. There's a version 1, version 2, and version 3. And what this allows us to do is allows us to go out to our network devices such as our routers, our firewalls, and our switches to collect data information on them based upon what's going on the network. And so we can use SMTP to go ahead and connect to those devices and get information on them, and also in certain instances to update and manipulate that network information. So it's great for network management, especially if you're a network administrator, and also for maintenance. Now you'll notice that there's V1 and V3. Typically you're going to see V3, but I did include V1 on here because originally all the information was in clear text format, but now we know that we want to encrypt and protect everything with everything that's going on in the news, with all of our breaches and all of our attacks from all these different hackers out there in the world. Well, now we know we don't want to have data in clear text, because if we do that, then we leave it wide open and available for people to take from us. So now with V3, it's now encrypted. So those are the 3 different protocols that we wanted to look at that are our management protocols for the application layer. And so we talked about, again, our DNS, which is converting domain names into IP addresses, our NTP, which allows us to get our clock information from a central server to synchronize our client machines with our servers, and then lastly our SMTP, which we use to pull data off of our network devices to manage them.